For this assignment, we are going to now actually spread the paint. So we added the watercolor pencil paint to our three birds. So you're going to need a paintbrush, a small piece of paper towel, and a very little bit of water. I mean, it's probably right up to here, and that's all you're going to need. So the other thing that you need to know is that you will be using the tip or the very point of your brush, and you may not have the same brush as me, so you want to make sure to identify what the tip of the brush is. It's the very point at the very, very end. So the first thing we do is we wet our brush and then kind of tap off to get the excess water off. Then we touch the paint area and then spread. Like that. And we go and touch the next area with water, and then we spread the paint towards the blank area. So we're kind of pushing and dragging. I'm going to grab a little bit more water and come down here, and I'm pulling the paint towards the center white area that does not have paint. And I'm basically using the point of my brush to do this. So I'm going to activate this paint here, and then I'm going to pull it up. So you're pulling it towards the center where there isn't any paint. And then pulling down. Oops, I got a little bit of the orange in there. I want to be careful. I'm going to come back up here and add a little bit more from here. I may want to go back and touch this area up. So I'm going to come to the tail and touch the paint and spread it. And I'm not doing the back and forth. I'm just kind of pushing the paint into the area that doesn't have paint. I'm going to rinse my brush out just by going into the water like this, tapping out, and then now touching the orange on both sides and dragging it towards the blank area. And for the kneecaps, just kind of go in a very small circular motion. Same thing for the toes. You don't have a lot of room there. So I'm using the very, very tip of my brush. Trying not to go out of the lines. I know it might be a little bit difficult, but try not to go out of the lines. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the next bird. And I'm going to start again. And touching the paint first with the wet paintbrush. Now remember, I don't have a lot of water on my paintbrush because I dabbed it off over here. And then just pushing the paint towards the area that does not have paint. So I'm going to wet this side here and bring it down. Notice I didn't add more water. Didn't need to. Okay, and then I'm going to wet this area here and pull the paint up towards the area that does not have paint. Now, as you can see, we are developing a very value effect, so a dark to light area. And you should have enough water on your brush to also do the tail as well. And then I'm going to tap that and clean my brush a little bit and come and do the orange. I'm going to touch the orange. Just like that. Go down to the kneecaps and just touch it and just kind of move just a tad. You're barely moving at all. I'm just kind of moving that paint around, wetting it and moving it around in the toes. Like that. Okay. Rinse my brush out again. Now I'm going to work on the pink. And I'm just using the very tip, very, very tip of my brush to do this painting. Okay, I'm going to do the tail feathers here. Oops, I kind of went out of lines there. I'm going to wet and pull this down. So what I'm doing is I'm going into the dark area and pulling down. And then the dark area here, and pulling up. So when you are finished painting, the next step you're going to do is you're going to take a picture of this in the assignment and turn it in. Oops, I forgot the orange. So we are not done. We are not finished with this. So let me go back and touch that up. And just barely touch the kneecaps. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to take a picture and turn it in, turn the assignment in, just like this. And if your painting is wet by the end of class, you want to make sure to put it on the drying rack, which is in the back of the room. So there you go.